Hi, this is Rick. I think the most important thing we can do for you as a client is to make sure that we understand your tolerance for risk and then design a portfolio that works with what you're comfortable with. We do that by assigning you a number from 1 to 99. Let me show you how we do it. If you've gotten an email from me or visited my website, latitudesfinancial.com, you'll see a button that looks like this. Just click on it and it will take you to the Risk Analysis Profiler. When you click on that button, it takes you to my Riskalyze website. And there you're going to fill out a very simple questionnaire. It starts with your name, first and last, and your email address. And that's it. That's all it wants from you. And then it's going to ask you some questions about your own finances. Now, I'm going to do this kind of quickly. I would hope you would give this a little more thought if you're doing it for yourself. But I'm going to say retirement, wealth accumulation, and income are my three major concerns when it comes to investing. It then gives you a box in case you want to say, well, I have an inheritance coming, or I have an old 401k at my ex-employer, and if you just want to list that on there so we can take that into account if we happen to work together in the future. Let's talk about retirement. I'm going to give this guy a year of 1970 for birth, make him a young fellow, and say he wants to retire when he's 57 years old. I'm sorry, 67. And let's say that he has a 401k that's worth $250,000. I think you really want to try to get all of your retirement assets if you're doing a retirement profile in here, because it'll make it a lot easier to work with when it comes to figuring this out. Now, risk is inherent in any investment. No matter what you invest in, there's some type of risk, whether it's liquidity risk or principal risk or market risk. You're going to have some risk to deal with. But what we're trying to do with this exercise is define it. We're trying to give you a number, like a badge to wear, and say, boy, my risk profile is a 66 or an 82, or this is what I want to live with, because that makes it a lot easier to invest going forward if you can understand the risk that's going in there. Uncertainty is one of the worst things that you can have when you're trying to design a portfolio. Now, in this case, it starts out with what happens if I'm down 17%, what happens if I'm up 17% in the next 6 months. And that's important because most financial type calculators that you use take you out over very, very long periods of time. But this is just in the next 6 months. Sure, you'd be happy if you're up 17%, but would you really be comfortable and able to sleep at night if, the market's really had a bad time and all of a sudden you got your statement and you were down 17%? Probably not. Or maybe you would be, I don't know. But this slider allows you to move it up or move it down. And in this case, let's move it down. Let's say that we're really not all that comfortable with a whole lot of risk. And let's say that the biggest downside I'm comfortable with is 12%. And I'm not even comfortable with that, but that's the most I could live with. All right, that's good to know, isn't it? Now we're going to go to the eye doctor. You know how when you go to the eye doctor, they say, is this one better? Is that one better? That's kind of what they're going to ask you to do here. Here's the choice we made, up 12 or down 12. Now, in this box, they're going to say, what if we were even more conservative and we lowered our downside to 8%? And we still said that 12 would be obviously fine on the upside. Would you be more comfortable with that? Or what if we went the other way? What if we said that we've defined our downside at 12%, but if we made 19, I'd be okay with that too. Let's pick that one. Let's see where we go. Now it slides over and it gives us another choice. It says, well, what if we tried another crack at that downside and say, what if you were down 15%, but you could be up 23% instead? And we're going to say, no, we're pretty comfortable with that 12% downside. Let's stay right there. So here's how it works. They give you a series of choices. The last one usually is this one. And it's going to take another crack at that downside. Say, well, what if you were up 21%, but down 14? And you say, no, I think 12 is about as low as I could sleep with in the next 6 months. That's as low as I could see my portfolio drop. And there it is. It gives you a risk number. In this case, our risk profile is a 61. Now, the software I have is amazing. It can then take your individual investments, give them a risk number of their own, and then calculate a whole risk number for your portfolio. So you might say that I've defined myself as a 61, but when I look at the way I've been investing, I'm investing like I'm a 51, or I'm investing like I'm a 91. And it's good to know. I think for a financial advisor like me, when I'm going to begin the financial planning process, it's very valuable for me to know what your risk tolerance is, and then there's no reason to put together a portfolio that doesn't come within the parameters that you've set. So there's a whole lot of investments out there, and there's certainly no reason to take on any more risk than you feel like you could live with. So that's what this little tool that I have does. And if you're going to work with me and at Latitudes, and I hope we talk about it, we're not going to go much of anywhere until we get a good handle on this number for you. I think it's that crucial in defining your financial planning experience. So hope this helped, and give me a call if you'd like to talk about it some more. Thanks.